Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Bethany and today's recipe is going to be a perfect pasta salad for summertime. It's filled with delicious antipasto ingredients, a beautiful fresh vinaigrette, and an ingredient that I think should always be included in pasta salad, but I feel like it rarely is. So stay tuned for that. Now let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we got our pasta water boiling. So I just got a medium-sized pot with some salted water and I brought it to a boil. And we're going to get ready to cook our pasta. And the pasta shape that I'm going to be using for my pasta salad is fusilli. And this is a really nice corkscrew shaped pasta. And what I love about this for pasta salad is I want to use a pasta that has different textures so that it can catch all the cheese and the herbs into everything. Rather than using a pasta shape like penne, it will just slide off of that. So this can kind of catch all the little fun and delicious ingredients. So we're going to use this. And now we're gonna cook this until it's al dente, which is really important in a pasta salad. We don't want this pasta getting super soft. We want it to have a little bit of a bite because you want that in a pasta salad. You don't want it super soft and mushy. And then we wanna rinse the pasta with some cold water. This is the only time you'll hear me tell you to rinse your pasta. And that's because for pasta salad, not only is it gonna cool it down because we want it to be room temperature, it's actually gonna stop the pasta from cooking any further because we don't want it to be past al dente. And it's going to remove all those starches that we don't really want in the pasta salad. So that looks good. Okay, so now that the pasta's cooked, we're gonna add that to our serving bowl. And now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. So we have some beautiful cherry tomatoes that we're gonna add. We grew these on our own tomato plants, so we're very proud of them. They're just coming in and they're so good. So we're just gonna have these. You can really use any tomatoes you like. I like to use cherry tomatoes just because they're really sweet. The next, we're gonna do some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I didn't always have these in this recipe, but over time I've really enjoyed having chickpeas in my pasta salad. So I think it's a great ingredient to add. It's also a little bit of protein. So we're gonna add those. Then we're gonna add some red onion. Always, as I've said, I wasn't always a red onion fan, but now I put it in every salad or pasta salad. I think it adds just that perfect zing of flavor, and you don't have to worry about it being so oniony. It's pretty mild in flavor. You can slice this or dice it, but I prefer to slice it for this type of salad because I kind of want bigger pieces. But we're just gonna thinly slice it. And the next, because this is kind of more of an antipasto type pasta salad, we're gonna be using some salami. And this is the one that I'm using today. I just got this at my local Whole Foods. And it's a harder salami, but it's not like rock hard like some of those aged salamis. So we're just gonna use this. I like to use a thicker cut of salami just because it gives like a nice chewy texture, but you can do the thin slices of salami if that's all you can find. And I'll just take these out and just kind of slice them into little strips. You can also do these into cube pieces if you want. And we're just gonna add these to the bowl. This adds a really nice salty flavor to the pasta salad. And the next we're gonna do black olives. I know that these aren't really the real deal olives. I don't even know if these are real olives at all, but I grew up eating these and we would put them on our fingers like any kid. But I like to use these because they are very common in a lot of Italian American style pasta salads or chopped salads. So we're just gonna use these. They're also a little bit more mild in flavor than like a calamata, but you really can use whatever type of olive that you want. I just like using these. I hardly ever eat these at all. They're just in this pasta salad is really when I get to have them. And we're just gonna slice these up. You can buy them pre-sliced, but I don't know why I like doing it myself. Some of those sliced ones can be just broken. All right, the next we're gonna do a little bit of cheese. For the cheese, you can do really anything that you like. I kind of like to leave it a little bit optional. You can do mozzarella balls if you want, or provolone, or even like a nice mild cheddar, or no cheese at all, whatever you want to do. But I'm just gonna do a little bit of provolone cheese. And then we're going to do marinated artichokes. So that's a very important ingredient. I love these. And I actually have them marinating because my local Whole Foods decided to stop selling marinated artichokes all of a sudden. I don't get it, it's madness. So I had to buy canned artichokes that weren't even marinated. And luckily I had some extra, so I just dumped the marinade in with the non-marinated artichokes. So I kind of was able to save those, but that was my only option. So, and you can put these in whole, but just to give it a little bit more of a bite size, I'm just gonna cut these in half. And the non-marinated artichokes are fine, they just don't have a ton of flavor. So if you're making this salad ahead of time, you can let it marinate just to give the artichokes more flavor if you don't have the marinated ones. Then the last ingredient is a nice red bell pepper. I like to use the red just because they're nice and sweet. And I like to use a regular bell pepper just because it adds a nice crunch, but you can also use marinated red peppers. Those are really nice because they're fire roasted. They're a little softer in texture, so they're not gonna add that crunch, but it's kind of up to you which one you wanna use. And I think that any type of salad that you're making, no matter what you have in it, it really comes down to how you cut the ingredients. I've always felt that way, is you could use the simplest ingredients, but if you have big chunks of vegetables in a salad, it makes it a little bit more not as appealing or interesting. So I love dicing things small. I find that whenever I serve a salad that everything's diced really small and nice, everyone always enjoys it, even though it's like still simple ingredients. It also makes for a prettier presentation. Okay, so that's everything for the pasta salad. Now we're gonna get into the dressing. All right, so we're gonna be making the dressing next, and I'm gonna actually be doing this in a blender, but you don't have to. This is just kind of my way of doing this because there's a few ingredients that I wanna blend up. But again, you don't have to, that's optional. But we're gonna be making my favorite Italian vinaigrette, which is actually its own recipe on the blog, but I'm using it in this pasta salad. So we're gonna use about 1/4 cup or a nice big handful of fresh basil. Next, we're gonna be doing dried Sicilian oregano. You can also just use dried oregano. This is just the one that I love to use. And I just kind of like to break it up and then dump it from the bag. So we're gonna use about 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. It smells so good. This is truly my favorite dried oregano. Then we're gonna do 1 large garlic clove, or I have 2 small ones here. And then a little bit of sweetener, just a little bit of maple syrup or honey, sugar, just to break up the acidity of the vinegar that we're gonna add. Then 1/2 cup of a good extra virgin olive oil. Can't really tell how much is in there. I probably should have done this one first, but it's fine, we can always add more. Then 1/3 cup of red wine vinegar. And then we'll do nice pinch of salt, just a little bit because we actually have another ingredient that's a little salty, and then some black pepper, just a nice healthy pinch. And then we're going to add Parmigiano Reggiano to the dressing, just a little bit because we're gonna add it later. I know, we can't do a recipe without it. This is just going to be about 1/4 cup for the dressing. And this is so nice. It adds such a nice salty richness to the dressing. So I love using this for really any salad, but especially pasta salad. Okay, then we're just gonna cover this and blend it up. All right, so we have our salad here and our dressing, and now we can drizzle it over top. All right, that looks wonderful. Now for the secret ingredient. Well, it's not really a secret, but it's an ingredient that I think a lot of people don't include in a pasta salad, but I think it really adds a lot to it, and that is Parmigiano Reggiano. Surprise. This is my favorite ingredient ever, clearly. So this is definitely an ingredient that I feel like not a lot of people use in pasta salads, but I think it's really important. It adds a ton of richness and flavor, but it also adds that perfect cheesiness throughout the whole pasta dish, and it gets into the noodles. I recently served this at our family's Independence Day gathering, and everyone loved this pasta salad. So my family approves of it, which is always a good thing. They're good taste testers. And now we can toss this together. Looks so good. We want to get everything kind of incorporated. This looks beautifully mixed now. And a couple pasta salad tips. So if you're going to serve this, it can be served right away. You can also chill it, or what you can do is if you're serving this later, there's generally enough dressing in this, but pasta can sometimes absorb the dressing. So if you're gonna serve this later, one thing that I like to do is pour half the dressing on, and then right when I'm about to serve it, pour the rest of the dressing on so it's nice and dressed and you don't have a dry pasta salad, because no one wants that. But yeah, this doesn't need to be refrigerated. It can be served right away. And we're gonna try it. It's gonna be hard to get everything on the fork, but we'll do our best. It's so good. I love the salty, chewy salami bites with the cheese and marinated artichokes. So good, they're nice and juicy. And then the dressing is perfectly tangy, and I love all that fresh basil. And let's not forget about that Parmigiano Reggiano. So good. I really think that it brings the whole dish together. I love to use it. I think it really makes a difference in a pasta salad, and it's a really refreshing side dish to bring to any summer gathering. So I hope you guys get to try it, and we will catch you in the next recipe.